What's going on, everybody? It's your favorite dating coach and Poe. Poe, right here. Yeah, it's your favorite dating coach and Poe. Elvis is off sniffing something. And as you can see by the title below, we're going to talk about why you attract these horrible, horrible men, and that it's actually not so much your fault, okay? I'll tell you what part is your fault with it, but I still don't think that's a bad thing that you can necessarily say it's because of you. Uh, But before we get into it, if you haven't yet, please subscribe. Just click the red button below. I will love you forever. The reason I'm doing this in my room right now is because I don't want to get up. The lighting's horrible, but screw it, okay? So the first thing I want to talk about when I make this video is that I really didn't want to make it, right? Not that I'm forced, no one's twisting my arm, but like I was hesitant. Let's put it that way. I was hesitant to make this video because I could tell women in my comment section, they have a context or there's an aura in my channel now where a lot of women just have this bad view on men. And I think the reason women have it, at least with my channel, is because a lot of the stuff I talk about is exposing men and making men sound pretty shitty or like men's true intentions, right? And women think this is all men. It's not. It's a specific type of man, just low ego. I talk about it in my older videos. I say low ego all the time. Insecure, vulnerable, men looking to fill a void, right? And then at the same time, women think all men are like this because if you're watching my videos, you have been exposed to it in some way. You have been broken up, led on, ghosted, screwed over, cheated on. A lot of guys come and go all the time throughout your 20s, 30s, whatever. And you again, you have a complex, and you look at everything through this lens. And then you watch my video, and it just reassures the lens that you're looking through, and it's just like, well, oh, look how cute he is. So don't look at my crotch, look at the cat. So I just want to make this disclaimer and say that not all men are like this, okay? And reading this or listening to this video, I hope you don't think that I'm talking about all men. So, why do you keep on attracting these type of men? There's the stuff you do, and then there's the stuff guys do, and then there's kind of in between. And if you watch my last video about mind games and why you're always going to play with it, or you're always going to find a guy who plays a little bit of mind games, it's because of insecurities, right? Guys have insecurities. There's miscommunication. The guys don't really want to tell you what they're looking for because that just draws a line in the sand and everything's absolute, and you can't kind of bullshit around absolutes. But at the same time, guys are going to try to have their cake and eat it too until the right girl comes around. Now, the reason this stuff is happening to you is because there's insecure men who are very vulnerable and they try to take the advantage or they try to take advantage of you for being vulnerable yourself or very nice and sweet. And some women come to me and they're like, maybe I'm just too nice of a person. And then I'm talking to them. I'm like, yeah, you are too nice of a person. Just tell that guy to f off, right? He's pulling that bullshit. He's pulling those strings. But a lot of women, the reason it happens to them is because guys can just tell and feel that aura where this girl's too nice, this girl's too sweet. I can tell this girl's looking for a relationship. She's vulnerable, she's hurt, something's happened to her in her past. She's looking for the answer, and I'm going to pretend I have it. And the reason that works so there's those two things. But the reason that works so well is the you're now what I call pre-qualified, meaning your chances of turning him down or his chances of being turned down, slip it like that, are much lower, right? It's much lower than if you were to randomly run into a hot girl. Not saying you guys aren't hot, I'm just using this as an example, at a bar who gets a lot of attention, a lot of options. Again, not saying you don't get a lot of attention, not saying you don't get a lot of options. I'm saying, and him having to walk over and risk, his ego and being turned down in front of a bunch of women or people, social, societies, the circle. Um, However, if he meets you on Tinder, if he meets you on Bumble, if he's already known you, like he already knows why you're on there. You're on Tinder and Bumble because you're looking for something. A lot of girls say, I'm not really looking for a relationship yet. Yes, you are. You say you aren't, but you're not just on there like guys are, where you just run around and fuck a bunch of girls, and when the right guy comes along, he comes along. No, no, no. You're pretty much looking now. You could go slow with it, and you can see where it goes, and let's let it unfold and let it happen. But your end goal is a relationship. Guys, their end goals aren't relationships so much as if the right girl comes along, then he'll make room for the relationship. But if you're a really nice girl, he's going to take advantage of it. Again, not all guys, certain men. Look at that. Something in your. Oh yeah, something. Hey, yeah, I caught you. You're on camera. But he's going to take advantage of the fact that you're really nice, that you're really sweet, or he's going to take advantage of the fact that you might be vulnerable, or there might be some type of insecurity or void you're trying to fill, because there's some people out there, not just women, but just people out there who feel I'm happier when I'm in a relationship. I like to feel wanted, and I want to give, or just people's like their main goal is to find love and things like that. And some guys and women do this too. I both sides do it, but I'm talking to women here. You know, people just take advantage of that fact. So I feel like people who are eager for a relationship, and I don't mean desperate. I'm not calling women desperate, but just people who want a relationship, they're a little more vulnerable, right? People who are really nice and sweet, they're good people, and they're wanting a relationship, and it's very obvious, and there's some insecurities even, and that's obvious. These guys online are going to prey on that. They're predators. They're going to jump on that like it's nothing. And again, not all guys online are like this. There's some great guys online. There's a lot of couples I know where they've met online, and now, oh my God, and now they're married and they're still going strong. There's good guys out there. I do believe you should do online dating. I always tell women, though, you're going to have to kiss a lot of toads and go through a lot of ups and downs before finding the right guy. But I do think it's worth it, because you'll learn the game, you learn attraction, you learn how to build it, you learn how to escalate, you learn the do's and don'ts, how to limit your red flag. You learn all these things through trial and error. And during the process, you are going to get sharper, and you are going to find someone worthy, right? So, yeah, it's not so much your fault, besides the fact that maybe it might be an insecurity, which that's not your fault. I'm saying, like, on your side, there's insecurities, there's some vulnerability, there's some voids you're trying to fill. Maybe you're really nice and sweet, and then there's the guy who senses those things. It's like smelling blood. It really is. If the guy's a shark, if he can smell that blood, he's going to go after it if he's insecure. So basically, it's an insecure person and an insecure person, but this guy, the predator, is going to go after you. I mean, that's the way to put it. And a lot of people don't like to. Again, a lot of people don't like to admit that. It has to do with insecurities and filling voids and vulnerabilities and security and things like insecurity. But it is. Not all the time. I'm not saying just because you're not. I'm not saying just because if you're secure, this isn't going to happen to you. It could be other things. Again, maybe you're a really secure person with a good confidence, but you have a good head on your shoulders. You're a good person. You're not a cynic, meaning you don't see people, being very selfish or out for their own. You just have a good outlook, right? And then there's the guy who's like, well, I'm the con artist, I'm going to take advantage of that. I mean, it just happens. It's not so much you, it's these guys. And these guys are going to do whatever. Again, I have to say this 1,000 effing times, because there's guys in my comments who think I'm a cuck, telling people that all men are shitty and that I'm just a white knight, which I'm not. Trust me, if you're a client of mine, I'm pretty harsh and I'm pretty forward. There's some people I tell you, hey, fuck, it ain't gonna happen, hon. Sorry. This guy doesn't like you. He ghosts you, whatever. I'm harsh. But, yeah. So, with that being said, ladies, I love you. Take care. 2 videos in a row, and peace.